Welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I'm John Davies, Vice President and Senior Analyst with GreenBiz. I'm here today talking with Alan Napetian, Vice President of Site Services for Genentech. Welcome, Alan.
Oh, thank you, John. Pleasure to be here.
So, Vice President of Site Services, what does that mean? What are your overview of your job?
Oh, certainly. No, I'm happy to describe that. It's a very broad role, and sometimes the way I describe it is it's equivalent to what other people may know as a site head, or it's even almost like a landlord function. Basically, what it means is that within the South San Francisco campus, I'm responsible for the physical campus, the assets, the design and construction of what happens there, the maintenance of those, the environment, health, and safety for our campus, security, even the amenities like food service, the transportation, the ferries, etc. So it really encompasses everything you could smell, touch, and feel. Really, in the campus, really falls under that. And what then kind of goes outside of that is that we're also responsible for our Working Flexibly program, which really drives not only our neighborhood work environments we have on campus, but really how people work outside of the campus in the virtual side as well. So as you can imagine, with what's been going on with COVID, we have both responsibilities on campus, but also really what's going on with our employees off campus.
A lot of what you do touches different parts of a sustainability strategy. So why is sustainability so important to Genentech?
First, what I would say is, as a company grounded in science, we understand that the climate crisis, the health of our patients, and business are inseparably linked. The need to act is urgent, and our collective response to climate change over the next 10 years is going to define health, wellness, and environmental justice globally for the generations to come. And second, health equity is a priority for Genentech, John. We believe that living in a clean, safe environment is a basic human right. The effects of climate change, be it air pollution, increasing allergens, poor water quality, disproportionately impacts underrepresented and low-income communities. It's everyone's responsibility to really contribute to slowing down the pace of climate change. But as a healthcare company, it's especially important for us to model the change required to improve the health of every person on this planet.
So getting a little more granular, what are some of the goals associated with that?
As a company, we're dedicated to improving the lives of patients, and we believe that a healthy future for our global community starts in our own backyard. And we view every decision that we make through the lens of potential impact on our people and our planet. Now, Genentech and our parent company, Roche, have set some ambitious sustainability goals. And within those, we're committed to reducing our environmental impact by 50% before the end of this decade, as well as achieving zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. Now, to accomplish these goals, we're continuing to explore very different ways of working. And what I'd like to do is maybe focus on transportation and our campus as examples in more detail. As one of the Bay Area's largest employers, we have a long-standing commitment to improving local transportation through our robust network of shared and sustainable commute options that we offer to employees, which includes buses, ferries, shuttles, van pools, and more. So first off, we have an incentive program for all employees called G-Ride that encourages our employees to commute to work in means other than single occupancy vehicles. Now, prior to the pandemic, 40% of our employees commuted to work in modes other than single occupancy vehicles. And this is a number that we actually want to increase over time. Our Genent buses are also another aspect of our program. They provide service to a lot of cities throughout the Bay Area, as well as the last mile service from public transportation stations and ferry terminals. And they help us make a major impact in cutting down the tons of greenhouse gas emissions per year, as well as curbing really air and noise pollution. Now, several of these buses are electric, And the exciting news is that we plan to transition 80 and close to 100%, hopefully, of our entire fleet of buses and shuttles to electric by 2025. Now, we also have a large fleet of approximately 1,300 vehicles for our employees who work out in the field with our customers, being patients, clinics, and healthcare providers. We're converting this entire fleet to EV or plug-in hybrid by 2030. Now, to complement this, we also, as I kind of mentioned, is we have a comprehensive working flexibly policy that allows employees to work remotely, which really further reduces our transportation impact. Now, on our campus, we're dedicated to maintaining a sustainable environment that enhances health, resource conservation, and energy performance. So with all the new construction that we do, we apply green building principles, and we're also early adopters of WELL building certification for new building constructions. So as examples, our four most recent buildings that we've developed applied all these green building principles. Our childcare center, which opened in 2018, is certified LEED Platinum, and it's a net zero building. Two others are LEED Gold, and we also have one WELL Gold building. And something we're also proud of is that Genentech is home to the largest solar installation in the peninsula. So any future campus improvement we do is going to adhere to these very strict principles so that we're doing the right thing as we move forward. Regarding energy, today 95% of the electricity we use on Genentech campuses is from clean sources. By 2025, it will be 100%. Now, water is a key component in the work that we do, so focusing on water use reduction is a key focus for us. So over the last 3 years, we've actually saved 78 million gallons of water through a variety of initiatives and technologies that we're applying. And then landfill. Landfill is another focus area for us, and we're proud to have opened our first zero waste to landfill cafe facility in 2019. And in the recent years, we've donated over $500,000 in scientific supplies and lab equipment to the BioLink Depot for distribution throughout Bay Area schools, high schools, community colleges, and more. And we've saved over 29,000 pounds of material from landfill. And as a result of this and many other efforts since 2010, we've actually reduced the contribution to landfill by 59% per employee.
Those are a lot of really exciting things, but I really, especially in association with our Verge Transportation initiative, that you talked about various commuting things, but people aren't really commuting today as much, are they, with COVID? I mean, how are you addressing that?
Definitely. I mean, I think that COVID has been something that has been a game changer for all of us. And what I would say with COVID is, right now, from a campus perspective, we have a significantly reduced number of people that are going to campus. Now, we've continued to maintain many of the services that I mentioned, just at a lower rate that's been basically scaled down to the number of employees that are going to campus. So we've tried to basically right-size our transportation services to the folks that we have going to the campus. I will say, though, is that COVID-19 pandemic has been a silver lining also. Because of what's happened, CO2 emissions from air travel and fleet use are down 95% and 75% respectively. Because we have less people on campus, we've been able to actually shut down some buildings and use a lot less energy as a result. And then landfill waste is down 55%. But what we've also learned, and this has been a really big learning for us, is that when we do return to campus, we want to do it differently than we left. And we're referring to it as build back better. And what we're committing to doing is we're really committing to establishing what we call is a trip cap on ourselves to really reduce how many people are in single occupancy cars driving to campus during peak hours. And what we're also doing is we're really asking our leaders to set very ambitious goals around sustainability as we return. And air travel is a huge example. We've reduced air travel by 95%, John, during pandemic. And we've continued to meet our business objectives. And this has been a huge aha moment for us. So leaders are now budgeting for our 2021 travel with an objective of cutting greenhouse gas emissions by 50% of 2019 levels. So again, as you kind of mentioned, yes, COVID has had an impact. We've had to right-size our transportation services, but there's been a lot of learning that we're able to take forward as a result.
That's great. So I've been talking with Alan Napetian, Vice President for Site Services at Genentech. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be here.